Hello everyone, Duck2, welcome to another Modpack overview, this time on Curseforge Improved, a 1.16.1 modpack that pretty much contains a fair mix of things. As you can see here, we'll go over each one as much as possible. So, starting off with the content, we've got, let's see, we'll sort through here, so from this point. So we've got Air Hop, which adds an enchantment to allow the player to hop every so often. So I think it's like maybe hopping twice, 3, and then maybe 4 times or so. So it's easy to get across gaps. I think you apply it to boots. You've got Chunk Loader for obviously having similar to the force load command, except obviously as a block, and obviously it loads 1 chunk each block, so you can make up to 10, obviously with just the main recipe, so you could have up to 10 chunks loaded with each individual block. You've got Bridge Maker for adding in a block to allow for bridges. You've got Compressium for compression of certain ores, as well as obviously netherrack, gravel, sand, stone, cobble, and so on. Either for decoration or just for compressing things more to fit into chests. You've got Construction Wand for obviously building wand options, so allowing you to obviously do a bit more with building, to place a lot more in a certain way. Crafting Automat as a automated crafting table. You've got Couriers for certain things, which we'll get to later. You've got Dash as another type of enchantment. Dim Storage for dimensional item and block, as well as fluid transport, and using a tablet to access it remotely. You've got Angel Ring for flight, which obviously you need Curious API for. Let's slot there. You've got Easy Redstone extras, adding in a few other redstone components such as Pulse, Resistor, Bender, T, and more, along with certain other bits and pieces. You've got Easy Villagers for putting in a villager inside a block and then having certain things come out of it. So you can have one for trades, one for farmers, one for breeding villages, one for converting villages, or zombie villages I should say, and one for iron golem farms. You've got elementary staffs, which adds in additional stars, as well as potions and other things. Got Elementus, adding in additional crystals and certain staves as well, with an altar. You've got Enderite, which pretty much adds in a few enchantments as well as a material above Netherite. As you can see, obviously, there's a bunch of tools, a shield, a bow, crossbow, chestplate with the elytra, as well as obviously an Enderite respawn anchor. The end, as well as the ore in the cracked state, so you need to use TNT to blow it up, then you can break it. We've got expanded storage for a sort of upgradable chests storage mod. You've got factory mod for adding in another automated crafting table. You've got fans for fans to push mobs and items and such, so useful for mob farms and things. Food pouches for adding in additional ways of containing multiple types of food in it, and you can just eat from the bag. You've got Fruitful for adding in additional fruit options and I think different trees. You've got Gilded Ingots for adding in gilded blackstone armour. You've got Glass for spawners, which adds in glass useful for mob spawners, and obviously different colours and keeping in the light. You've got, let's see, Harvest Sprites, obviously harvesting certain things like crops and other things I assume. I have yet to use it myself, but it seemed interesting, so I thought of that. Iron Coals for adding in additional coal options for burning longer. You've got obviously blocks there. You've got Iron Fences, which adds in an Iron Fence Gate and Iron Gate, or Iron Fence. You've got laser relays for obviously transporting items, fluids, and energy, as well as gas for certain things, obviously useful for mechanism, or certain other sources like chests and tanks and such. You've got lava furnace for adding in a furnace that can obviously smelt things using lava. You've got magical torches, obviously additional lighting options in certain ranges you can reach. We've got mechanism as our tech mods for adding in obviously a bunch of ore processing as well as a bunch of other things like a jetpack, flamethrower, certain other bits and pieces. And as I haven't looked at mechanism 116, I thought it would be suitable. I could have gone with industrial reborn, but I don't know if I got it working or not. And otherwise, there was certain others I probably could have gone with, but I was like, yeah, I might as well go something a bit different. Let's see, we've got pedestals for adding in certain pedestals that you can use a bunch of different upgrades for, which are useful for many different things, for either filtering out stuff, other types of machine-like actions, but with just using upgrades on a pedestal. So you can use XP bottler, you can use dropper, enchanter, sawmill, quarry, grindstone, and a bunch of other stuff. This is one I'm wanting to review for a while, but it's just one of those things where I can't get into it that much, so I thought in survival would make more sense, rather than trying to learn it in creative. You've got redstone quit, which adds a quit block, which I can't quite remember much what it does, but I think it's like for activating redstone in a way, or controlling redstone in certain ways, I can't remember. Redstone tools, adding in tools that are made from redstone as well as an armor set. Resource overhaul for adding in additional tools, armor, as well as ores across all dimensions, as well as things like chicken nuggets as well. And also certain other components like nugget versions of dust, of sand, cobble and dirt and such like that. You've got salt ore for adding in salts, as well as obviously salted versions of meat. You've got sockets for adding in additional ores, as well as certain other gems you can use on diamond picks. I can't remember if it's been branched out to multiple since, so thought I'd just sort of use it for something else besides using the other tools from other mods. We've got technology, which doesn't add too much. It adds in a few things like a sword and pick, as well as cores, and a generator, which is the only thing really I'm going to gain out of it, as I don't think it's been further development since it's been abandoned. So yeah, but either way, seemed like something interesting to include, and after all the crafting and stuff, another generator for FE is always nice. Otherwise, we've got the Undergarden, which adds in a new dimension, I'm pretty sure, along with mobs. We've got tools, we've got blocks, a bunch of other stuff. I have yet to look into this one as well, but it seemed interesting. So spawn in a few and get an idea of what they do, or what they look like. And obviously on normal, so it's not really going to show up that well. Either way, a bunch of different interesting mobs. Otherwise, let's see, so a bunch of other blocks you can make. You've got Tom's Simple Storage, for obviously adding in the ability to, connect up certain inventories, have a connector in that to obviously recognize them, and you've obviously got terminals and other such to sort of access what's in each of them. You've got Trashed for trash cans, Uppers as a higher, an upward facing hopper, and then we've got Excavators for 3x3 shovel actions, and then Hammers for 3x3 pickaxe actions. Wiki Zoomer for pretty much just presenting things on a zoomer pedestal sort of thing, so we make things more interesting for display elements, like putting armor on an armor stand, but in this case obviously putting mobs or items also on display. And then we've got Woodcutter as a woodcutter there, besides other things like other recipes for the smithing table and the stone cutter. And obviously if you want a closer look, you can kind of get an idea of what some of these blocks are and what they can do. So we're going to have villager 1 here, the other ones to represent those, and so on. So yeah. Otherwise, the only other things of note really is obviously like so. Those using existing blocks but giving them more functionality. Let's see, a armor based one, which shows you a bit more. So if you've got something that's higher than diamond in terms of the tier the armor is, then it'll tell you that. Or even if you have more health, like with health boost or something, or more from golden apples with absorption absorption hearts, then yes, that'll also be displayed there. Lava that can work like infinite water sources. Water that can be placed in the nether now, as well as being able to see through lava. Right click harvesting, a timber mod for making wood fall, or taking all of the wood when harvesting and such, I think. Harvesting vines much easier, and I think that is about everything. Oh, and a mob spawner, type of one we click mob, put it in a spawner block, and then good to go. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.